Where are you coming from tonight? What's the attitude for? You're being detained for now.
It was only like 2 weeks ago that I showed you the exclusive body cam footage from this brand new federal lawsuit
Go inside of the house or I will take you from your kids and take you to jail.
that had been filed against this young Kentucky State Trooper, Myron Jackson. And many of you were shocked how Trooper Jackson escalated a minor traffic stop.
You know your tags are expired?
Expired.
Yeah.
In July.
Which wasn't even legal if you want to watch that video,
Today's July 31st.
into arresting this mom of three illegally right on her front porch. It hasn't even been 3 weeks yet, and now a second federal civil rights lawsuit has been filed against Trooper Myron Jackson. And now I have the exclusive brand new body cam footage of that incident.
Are you normally like this? Are you trying to go to jail tonight? Okay. You're under arrest.
As well as a copy of the brand new lawsuit that was just filed yesterday. So let's go through the body cam footage together, and I will tell you what's happening in the form of the actual allegations from the lawsuit itself. And if you don't think the allegations match the body cam footage, well, let me know in a comment. So let's see if it does. I bet it does. On the night of May 1st, 2024, Kentucky State Trooper Myron Jackson pulled over Nicholas Unjay, a Cameroonian immigrant and a naturalized U.S. citizen, for allegedly failing to use his turn signal when he pulled into a Papa John's restaurant, which he was doing because he was working as a DoorDash delivery driver. But despite this being just a simple traffic stop over an extremely minor traffic allegation, Trooper Jackson ended up escalating the situation and pulling Nicholas out of his car without explanation.
Hello. Hello. Trooper Jackson State Police. The reason for the stop is when you changed lanes right here, you didn't use a turning signal.
Change lane?
Yes. When you got in that middle lane right here, you got to use a turning signal when you're switching lanes. Do you have your license on your proof of insurance?
Yeah, that's in the thing.
Okay. Can I see it? You have any weapons in the vehicle?
The body cam shows that during the interaction, Nicholas was quiet and he began gathering his documents to give to Trooper Jackson. When Trooper Jackson asked Nicholas, "Where are you coming from tonight?" Nicholas responded, "I'm not answering any questions."
Where are you coming from tonight? I'm sorry?
Trooper Jackson's initial response to that was, "Okay, that's fine." But then he immediately said, "What's the attitude for?"
Yeah, that's fine. What's the attitude for?
But Nicholas complied with what he had originally been asked to do. He handed over his registration and his insurance to the trooper. Trooper Jackson then placed it back into Nicholas's car and then, out of nowhere, demanded that Nicholas exit the car.
Well, I'll take everything out. Go ahead and hop out here with me for a second.
In what was a perfectly appropriate, legal, and normal response to being asked to get out of your car for no discernible reason during a simple traffic stop, Nicholas asked why. Trooper Jackson responded by saying, "Because I'm telling you to get out. You don't have a choice."
I'm sorry? Because I'm telling you to. Get out. You don't have a choice.
The body cam shows that Nicholas did not use or threaten violence. Nicholas did not affirmatively interfere in any way with the traffic stop.
Okay. I'm not going to ask again.
He was simply seated in his car when Trooper Jackson opened the car door.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You're going to listen to me.
Trooper Jackson then grabbed Nicholas and forcefully pulled him out of the car. And by the way, Trooper Jackson never asked, he never demanded that Nicholas put the car in park or turn the car off. Instead, Jackson had pulled Nicholas out of the car without even knowing whether or not the car was in drive or park, because admittedly, he was not thinking it through.
Get out of the car.
The vehicle began to idle forward with no driver. Trooper Jackson then ran and jumped into the car to keep it from rolling away.
That's another reason why I wanted him to get out, because he never put the car in park.
No, I saw that.
My assumption was he was about to take off.
I saw that.
I didn't really think it through. I knew it wasn't in park, but I really didn't think it through. If I tell you to do something, you do it.
Jackson then handcuffed Nicholas and told him that he was being detained.
You're being detained for now.
Asking him, "Are you normally like this? Are you trying to go to jail tonight?" Nicholas remained calm and silent.
Are you normally like this? Are you trying to go to jail tonight? Do you have any weapons on you?
I ain't got no weapons. How many times did I touch that?
Do you have anything to drink?
No.
When Trooper Jackson asked for Nicholas's address, Nicholas responded, "It's on my ID." Immediately after that response, Trooper Jackson announced, "You're under arrest."
What's your current address?
It's on my ID.
Okay. You're under arrest.
Jackson charged Nicholas with obstructing governmental operations, basically Kentucky's version of obstruction. He then transported Nicholas to the Franklin County Regional Jail, where Nicholas was incarcerated until being administratively released the next day, after which he had to walk miles back to his vehicle in order to get home. When Trooper Jackson began writing the citation, he wrote of concerns about Nicholas being intoxicated. However, Trooper Jackson did not conduct any field sobriety tests, nor conduct any preliminary breath test at all that night. And that's because most likely Trooper Jackson did not actually have any suspicion of Nicholas being an impaired driver, and instead only wrote it down as a pretext in an attempt to justify his initial order for Nicholas to get out of the car as being related to an investigation over intoxication, as opposed to what it really was as retaliation for Nicholas saying he didn't answer questions, which of course would be unconstitutional. Just like the incident from the video 2 weeks ago, the criminal charge here ended up being dismissed by the prosecutor. In fact, according to the lawsuit, it was just dismissed today. Why are these warrantless arrests by this Trooper Jackson being dismissed by the prosecutor? The arrest here was for obstructing governmental operations. Under Kentucky state law, to commit obstruction of governmental operations, the courts there have held that a person does not obstruct governmental operations unless there is affirmative use or threat of violence, force, or physical interference. Trooper Jackson's body cam showed that Nicholas did none of those things. Instead, Jackson retaliated against Nicholas and violated his constitutional rights by arresting him, at least in part because he asserted his Fifth Amendment right to refuse to answer Trooper Jackson's questions. But what about Pennsylvania versus Mims, you ask? Yes, police officers can order you out of a car during a traffic stop, but that doesn't mean they get to do whatever they want. They don't get to frisk or search you. They don't get to extend the length or scope of the stop. And they can't do it to punish you or to go on a fishing expedition or to retaliate because you refused to answer their questions or you remain silent. To order you out of the car, it has to be for the reason of officer safety. They can just perform the same traffic stop with you outside the car. The courts have said that officers can ask you questions during a traffic stop, but there's generally no requirement to answer police questions, with the exception of basic identification and related documentation answers. But the courts have said that officers may still ask unrelated questions such as where are you going, but they can't prolong the stop without some other reasonable suspicion of some other crime. The courts have been very clear that you have the right to remain silent during a traffic stop and that you should verbalize that choice, which is exactly what Nicholas did here.
Where are you coming from tonight? I'm sorry?
So Nicholas acted properly in the way that the courts have said that is the correct way to assert one's constitutional rights during a traffic stop. The body cam footage establishes that, both that Nicholas acted properly and asserted his constitutional rights, and also that Trooper Jackson, in direct and immediate response to that assertion, immediately began to retaliate against him asserting his rights by accusing him of having an attitude and asking him, "What's your attitude for?"
Yeah, that's fine. What's the attitude for?
Which is total gaslighting given the fact that Nicholas is completely calm, and literally does not have an attitude, and then by ordering him out of the car. So Nicholas was absolutely correct to be wondering why he's being punished for doing what the courts have said he has the constitutional right to do. This is a pattern now of this young trooper needlessly escalating minor traffic stops and then falsely arresting somebody for obstruction when there's no probable cause for obstruction under Kentucky law, but just doing it for the purpose of illegal and unconstitutional retaliation against the assertion of constitutional rights. I mean, how dare anyone pulled over or confronted by Trooper Jackson assert constitutional rights? But again, this is Kentucky. And as you may recall from the video I just did with Chris Wiest, multiple Kentucky state troopers were recently indicted by the feds. And as Chris explained, they have an illegal and unconstitutional practice within the Kentucky State Police of falsely charging people with obstructing when they had not committed obstruction. So perhaps we shouldn't hold our breath that anything is going to be done about what Trooper Jackson is doing. And why wouldn't Myron Jackson be acting like this when the head of the Kentucky State Police, Philip Burnett, has been called out by the federal courts for himself doing it in the past? In fact, he was sued for a traffic stop where he did essentially the same thing.
What's going on?
Take a kid to town, get something to eat?
Driver's license.
Yep.
You see it?
I'm sitting here on my own property.
Well, no you're not, because that's marked right here and you don't have a seatbelt on. Let me see your driver's license.
But I'm sitting here on my property and ain't bothering nobody. I ain't got out on the public road.
Let me see your license.
I'm going to let you see my license. But I'm just about tired of being harassed by you now. I'm just telling you, well, take me to jail. That's our lock me up. Go over and tell your mommy right now to get the video camera out. This man taking me to jail, me sitting on my own property.
Let me see your driver's license.
No, go do it. Here's the license for here.
See your insurance.
I'll tell you this, you're going to quit this harassment. You're going to quit harassing me because I ain't done nothing illegal.
Well, let's see here. Your windows was tinted. You're getting ready to get out here and getting that.
Where you see my windows tinted?
So I can stop. Okay?
Where you see my windows
Look
tinted?
right here. Look right here. You see, can you see through that? See that?
Well, I can't live it. You got them dark glasses on. I can't see now.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to take you to jail for a minute.
Well,
Put your driver's license on.
honey, get out and go over and tell your
Put
mama.
your driver's license. Put
You
your
got my driver's license. You got it.
Put your wallet down and your gun. Now, you grab that gun.
I ain't grabbing it. Well, just a minute, you get another one. Wait a minute. I'm telling you I got another gun.
Where put your hand?
Video, get the video camera. Look, get the camera. He's arresting me. Video it. I don't know for what.
Which culminated in the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals denying Trooper Burnett, now head of the Kentucky State Police, denying him qualified immunity for needlessly escalating a traffic stop and then falsely arresting somebody to retaliate against them for merely asserting their rights. I will link that opinion below. Gee, I wonder where Myron Jackson and other troopers with the Kentucky State Police are getting it from. The head of their organization did that himself, and look where he ended up, as the head of the organization. So I'll continue to follow this lawsuit along with the others, and you can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can follow me on X at JohnBryanESQ. And yes, I would like to hear your opinion. Do the allegations in the complaint match what you saw on that body cam footage? Let me know. Maybe I missed something. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.